let's get started on this baby blanket we're working on. Okay, so the color palette I have chosen for this blanket, you're going to want to have 4 colors. So I've picked cream, misty pink, misty purple, and a suede color. So I'm using Sprightly Yarns Acrylic Worsted. So this is just a regular worsted weight medium 4 yarn. And I'm also using a 5.5 millimeter hook. And this is a Brittany hook. It's a wooden hook, and I love these hooks. It's an inline style. So the stitch pattern we're going to use for this blanket is a chevron style stitch, but it's sort of almost more of a wave pattern to it. And the multiples that you chain is 14, multiples of 14 plus 3. So the baby blanket I'm making, I want it to be approximately 30 inches wide by 40 inches long. So begin by chaining 143. So just make a slip knot, put it on the hook, and then you'll just begin chaining, and just try to make your chains as even as possible, not too tight, not too loose. Just a nice consistent chain. So I will complete my chain off camera and I'll meet you back for the stitch pattern. Okay, so I've worked 143 chains. And now in the 4th chain from the hook, we're going to work 2 double crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So to double crochet, you're going to yarn over, go through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So there's 1 double crochet made. And then we'll make our 2nd double crochet. Okay, so that counts as 1 double crochet the chain, and then we have 2. And now we're going to work 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 chains. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is do double crochet 3 togs. So that is decreasing 3 stitches or chains together. So to do that, we're going to yarn over. I'm going to go through the first chain, pull up a loop. I'm going to go right into the next chain, and I'm going to pull up a loop, and then right into the next chain. So 3 chains we've worked into, pulling up loops. So now you should have 5 loops on your hook. So we're going to yarn over, and we're going to go through 4 of them. Yarn over, go through 2. And now we're going to do that once more. So we're doing 2 double crochet 3 togs. So yarn over, go through the first chain, go through the 2nd chain, and go through the 3rd chain. Yarn over, pull through 4, yarn over, and pull through 2. Okay, so that's going to make part of our wave pattern. And now work 1 double crochet in each of the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and in the next chain, we're going to work 3 double crochet. So there's, whoops, let's start that over. So yarn over, go through the chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, go through 2. going back down into that same chain. There's our second double crochet, and right back into the same chain, our third double crochet. And in the next chain, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add 3 double crochet. There's 1, 2, and 3. So now you can see that we're getting our pattern, our dip, and our peak. And now we'll work 1 double crochet in each of the next 3. And we're basically just going to repeat this pattern all the way across. So we're back to doing a tog. So we're going to do a DC3 tog. So yarn over, go through that first chain, go right into the second chain, pull up a loop, and right into the third chain and pull up a loop. So now yarn over, pull through all 4, or the first 4, and then yarn over, pull through 2. If you have a different way of doing a tog, go right on ahead. This is just a nice simple way to work that tog. And I really like that it's not too bulky. So go right in. And then yarn over, pulling through 4, yarn over, pull through 2. And 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 chains. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now we're back to our peak. So we want to do 3 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And in our next chain, we'll add 3 double crochet. So now this blanket, the width will be approximately 30 inches. Now, if you want to make a different size blanket, you're looking at chaining multiples of 14 plus 3. So you can alter the size of your blanket very easily just by following that pattern. So now I'm going to keep working along. As you can see, it's coming along nicely. I'm going to finish along my chain. I'll meet you up at the end just to show you how we finish. And then we'll work together on row 2. So I'm just working up to the end here. So I've done 2 DC3 togs, and I should have 4 chains left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we'll do is we'll do a double crochet in each of the next 3, following along with our pattern. And then in the final chain, we're doing 3 double crochet. So that's matching up with the 3 we have started with. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to turn and chain 3, and the chain 3 will count as 1 double crochet. Okay, so I just wanted to bring over my little swatch just to show you what we're going for here. So for my swatch, I did 2 repeats plus 3. So I did 14 plus 14 plus 3 just to get it going So this is how I measured out how big my blanket was going to be. So this is a good idea if you're using different yarn, different size hook, and you want to figure out how big of a blanket you're going to make. I would suggest doing a little swatch like this. So 14 times 2 plus 3 gave me about 7 inches. So that's how I could multiply out how big the blanket I wanted. So the pattern that we're working with, we're going to do 2. I want all my tails, first of all, at one end. So if you do multiples of 2, you'll keep all your tails to one side. So I'm doing 2 rows of cream, 2 rows of pink, 4 purple, 2 of my tan color, suede color, and then I'll have 4 of the cream. So I didn't quite finish this up, but I'll have 4, and that is my repeat pattern. Okay, so 2, 2, 4, 2, 4, and then you'll just alternate the colors as we go. So what I did for my pattern, I wanted about, so if I had added my 4 rows here, I have about 10 inches. So that means if I have a 40-inch blanket, I know I need to repeat this pattern 4 times. Okay, so what I did was I wrote out 2, 2, 4, 2, 4, and then I just write my color names down beside and go. So I'll put a picture up just of how I did that, just so if you're using different colors, you can just write out your colors so you know how many rows of each to do. But it is really pretty simple. I just wanted to get some bigger rows in here and some smaller ones just for some more interest. So now the row 2, which I'm going to show you now, is the row that we're just going to repeat for this entire blanket. So this blanket is super easy to make, and this pattern, I actually love it because of all the 3s we're using. It makes it really easy to kind of remember where we're at. So our chain 3 counts as 1 double crochet, and now we'll do 2 double crochet in that very first space right here. Okay. So now that counts as our 3 double crochet. Then we do 1 double crochet in each of the next 3. And now we do our DC3 tog twice. So go through the stitch, pull up a loop, through the stitch, pull up a loop, through the stitch, pull up a loop, just as I showed you before, and then yarn over, pulling through 4, yarn over, pull through 2. And we'll do that again. 1, 2, 3. So I just kind of count as I go. Pull through 4, pull through 2, and then 3 double crochet in each of the next 3, 1, so 1 double crochet in each of the next 3, 2, 3, and now we'll do 3 double crochet in the next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochet in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3. Work 1 double crochet in each of the next 3. And then we'll do our tog. So see how simple this pattern is? It all goes in 3s. And really easy to keep track if you're just doing this watching TV, because this will take a bit of time. But it's definitely a simple, easy project that you can work away at. and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 3. So I'm just going to continue on with the pattern, working across, and I will show you when I get to the end how to change your color. Just working up to the end here, so we're going to do 1 double crochet in the last 3 stitches, and then in our turning chain we're going to add 3 double crochet. There's 2, and on the 3rd we're going to change color. So go through 2, and then instead of yarning over with the cream, I've pulled out my center ball, so it's just kind of messy to start with. Find my end. So now we're going to yarn over with our pink. And then chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And at this point we can trim up, cut the cream, and then we just repeat row 2. 2 double crochet in that first stitch and just work our pattern. So I'm going to put up a note showing you your color pattern and how many rows for each color. But other than that, you just basically repeat the same row over and over again. So I'm going to work through my blanket and I'll meet you back up later on when I have a good section of this worked up. Okay, so I've been working away on my blanket and I've completed my color pattern. Now Okay, I've started working on my tassels. So this is my end that we started with, and I'm going to attach my tassels to this end. Now you could also alternate with another color, so I'm thinking of maybe doing pink. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to make a tassel. So you want to measure out 14 inches. Now you can make yours any size you want, but I'm just going to show you this size. I think it's a good size tassel, so 14 inches. And I want to cut a total of 24 pieces. And just to keep it moving along quickly, I don't measure every piece, just a rough estimate is fine. We'll trim all of our ends at the end, so this just makes it a little bit quicker. Okay, so I've measured out my 24 pieces, and then you just want to take your scissors and trim all those loops. Both ends. And you can just run your fingers. And usually you'll snag if there's one you've missed. Okay, so next you just want to grab 2 extra pieces for tying. The first one will tie around the center. And you can just let that fall and just make sure your pieces are hanging as even as you can. And then you just want to knot. Okay. Just keep your ties sort of out of the way. You'll use them to tie onto your blanket or your scarf, whatever you're making your tassel for. And then we want to take our other piece of yarn to make our ball. And if when you're doing that you just loop around twice, it just helps secure your knot when you pull it in. And you can keep it like that, or you can wrap the yarn around the ball a couple times. And then tie another knot. Once you have that knotted, you want to take those ends and your yarn needle and just go and weave them down underneath the tie. Okay, and then we have all of our messy ends, so we're just going to want to trim them evenly. If you have a steamer, it's a great idea to steam. Just it'll help that lay flat. And I like to just go a couple different ways when I'm trimming just to make sure. And there's your tassel. Okay, and when you're attaching your tassel to a blanket or garment, you want to tie it on. And then to get rid of these ends, what you want to do is weave them down through your tassel ball and right underneath. And then you can just trim those ends so that you don't have any stragglers.